Hey guys, boom, boom, boom. This is Jared and I'm back. Hey guys, man, I'm so excited to do another show tonight. All right, we've got a great show. All right, buckle your seatbelts. All right, make sure it may be a little bumpy. All right, but come along for the ride. You're gonna enjoy it. All right, I need your help. All right. Again, I'm your host, Jared A. Brown of the Warriors Quest Show. And as always, we're spotlighting another kidney warrior tonight. All right. We're spotlighting a need for a living kidney donor. All right. So I need your help. Don't be stingy. All right. Don't be stingy. All right. Share. All right. Let's be kind. All right. Let's share this. Let's get this out there. This kidney warrior is in need of a kidney donor. All right. So don't be selfish. Don't be stingy. All right. Please share this. Let's get this story out there so that we can make sure her story gets heard, her voice is heard. Let's get it out to the masses. All right. So again, we've got a great story. We've got a kidney warrior here, and I'm so happy. I get so passionate. God's calling, God's plan for me to help as many kidney disease patients as possible. I can only do that with your help, and I'm happy to do that tonight. Thanks for sharing, Steve. Thanks, bro. All right, so let's get as many people on here as possible. If you're now watching, all right, live, please comment below, okay, hashtag live stream, so I know you're watching it live. All right, and comment. Tell me where you're from. All right, let's get the comments going so that we can make sure that our guest, all right, is as visible as possible by any algorithm, all right, that is on social media. The more comments, the more sharing, the more this catches fire. And this is going to be lit. We can light this like a firecracker, all right? So we're doing this tonight. We're doing it together. We're united as a kidney disease community. All right, thanks, Melissa. Hope you and Jonathan are doing well. All right, and so I'm going to bring on our guest. All right, it's Mandy Dufrane, Mandy Rose Dufrane. All right, and the cool thing is that, and thanks for sharing, Melissa, as well. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, Shell. Hey, Shell. Thanks for watching, man. Live stream. She's watching me live on YouTube. Thank you. All right, so we've got Mandy Rose Dufrane, and Mandy, all right, is in Montana, and the cool thing is that she is in Mountain Time Zone, and so it's really makes it a little bit easier because then we can talk about the same time zone and there's not confusion. All right, and so I'm in Utah, she's in Montana. All right, we both have mountains. All right, okay, we know what God's country is, and so I'm going to bring her on. Thanks for sharing, Shell. Thanks for watching from Kerrville, Texas, Melissa. I'm going to bring her on. All right. Everybody give her a very Warriors Quest show welcome when she comes on. And make sure that we're chiming in with as much feedback, comments as possible. Let's make sure she feels support, encouragement. All right. We're all about giving hope. All right, let's give her some hope tonight. All right, so I'm going to bring her on now. VIP treatment. You know how it is. You know what I do. You know how we do. Here we go, VIP. Hey, Mandy.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. We had a storm coming in last night, and on my way home from work last night, all right, I thought I gotta put my chickens in the coop. I gotta barricade things. I thought it was going down, but it kind of tapered off, and it wasn't that bad. So we got a little snow flurries and some rain, but it wasn't as bad. Don't get me wrong. All right, I live near farmers. We need the snow, we need the moisture, but I just don't like driving in it.
Yeah, yeah, we almost had it's been kind of stormy here too.
All right, so tell me a little bit about where you're from. Let's have you introduce yourself and kind of give everybody kind of your hero's origin story, because that's why this show is called the Warriors Quest Show. Warriors, all right, that's what you all are. You're fighting every day, and so in my mind, you're heroes. All right, so let's get to know your origin story. Tell us a little bit about where you're from. Give us your background. Like maybe you have a BFF from Montana somewhere, and give us a little bit of the history of the God's country. That's Montana, God's country, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to put you solo while you do that, but I'll still hear you and you can ask me questions and whatnot. All right.
Okay. Yeah, so I grew up in Livingston, Montana, and I live in Bozeman, Montana, which is probably one of the more well-known cities in
Right.
Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's we're seeing a big boom, and there's just like growth everywhere. It's kind of insane. Just from I've lived here about 12-ish years now. So just in that short time, like seeing it grow is pretty crazy. I just turned 30 a week ago.
Right, right. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I had a birthday on March 12th myself, and so are we both Pisces? Is that what's
Yeah,
going on? Wow,
yeah,
nice. All right. All right. So your birthday just last week, turned 30. Right on. Well, I hope you had a great birthday. Were you able to celebrate it, relatively well with the pandemic and everything?
yeah, yeah. The pandemic has made things interesting. We're actually lifting our mask mandate here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we may get that lifted a little bit next month in April in Utah. So, so have you lived all of your life there in Montana then? Because you kind of said that Brooklyn was kind of an inside joke. Maybe you can fill me in.
Yeah, I have lived in Montana my whole life. I
All
have a
right.
really good friend that he was from that area. So I would like jokingly tell people I was from there too, and he actually ended up passing away last year.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's too bad. It's um, we had a very dear kidney warrior just recently in the kidney disease community pass away as well. We Yeah, it's Sorrel George. Cy speaks, and we man, it's she was such a pillar of our community as well. And so I'm sorry to hear that you've had somebody pass.
Yeah, it's definitely been hard, but there's always like those memories. And I was gonna take down my joke and put up where I'm actually from, but I've kind of kept that up and sort
Yeah.
of
All
a
right.
memory. Yeah,
All right. Yeah. As an affirmation and a kind of in remembrance of your past, your beloved one that just passed away, your dear friend. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, tell us a little bit about how it is to grow up in Montana. I mean, I people that are maybe from these highly populated states where the big metropolitan sort of cities like New York and stuff. They look at places like Utah, and Montana as like slow paced, and stuff like that. But I see it as a great place to grow a family, and it's peaceful and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about how you've liked it and what you do find very good about Montana.
Yeah, it's definitely peaceful. My dining room window looks out. We have the Bridger Mountains, which is a very big mountain here. Um,
Uh-huh.
and so my dining room view is the Bridgers, and just like driving, Bozeman's kind of in a bowl of mountains, so you just like look up and there's all these mountains. And I don't know how people live without mountains.
I
It
hear
really,
you. Yeah, I hear you. You know what? The where I live in Utah, we've got the Wasatch Mountains, which are connected to the Rocky Mountains as well, and
yeah,
I can relate. Yeah, when I go to California, or I go somewhere else where they think they've got mountains, in Southern California, and they really are mountains. Don't get me wrong, but when I see the mountains here or in Montana or even Wyoming, it's just very different to not see those things, especially like when you go somewhere flat, like when I've gone somewhere like Kansas or something, and you just don't see the mountains. I love the outdoors, so I can relate a little bit. So
yeah.
growing up, did you take advantage of that like I do, where you go up to the mountains, go camping, fishing, and other things like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, very nice. So, man, I love hiking and I love the outdoors. And looking up the mountains right now, we still have, obviously a lot of snow, and we sometimes we see snow up on the mountains till maybe in some cases the end of May, depending on how much snow we've had. But tell me a little bit about you know how how you were affected with kidney failure, and you know what the doctors may have said that led to it, and your journey. Did your journey start?
So I was diagnosed, I have a really rare genetic disorder, and I was
Okay.
diagnosed at 16 months. So it has never been really a surprise. It was more a matter of time, like when is this gonna happen?
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
So 16 months. We're talking about less than,
Yeah.
less than 2 years old. You're diagnosed with something and they're saying that you may later on have kidney failure. Was it nephrotic syndrome or FSGS? Or tell me a little bit more about this.
So it's actually called cystinosis.
Okay.
I like there's two of us, including me in Montana, that have it. Um,
What?
very, very, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that is very interesting. So
Yeah.
only two of you in the whole state of Montana
Mhm.
have this sort of condition. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so how did that affect you growing up? Because it
Mhm.
sounds like it may be something that damages the kidneys,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what led to kidney failure. So
Yeah.
somehow it's affecting the glomeruli, or tell me a little bit about why that's the case.
So basically, it's a lysosomal storage disorder, and my body can't get rid of cysteine. Um,
Okay.
it builds up. I take medicine for it, and it's very well controlled. But it builds up, and it causes crystals in the organs, and that's
Wow.
a failure. And mainly, it's really mainly affected my kidneys, actually.
Okay. Wow. So, and I imagine, growing up, in the beginning, it may not have had too much of an issue, but was it like when you were a teenager that maybe it gave you more fatigue and things, or how did that how did that affect, like when you got a little bit older, how did that affect you health wise?
Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty normal childhood. Like I've always taken medication, so that's always been a thing. I had a G tube growing up to take the medication.
Wow.
And I would say it really started affecting me when I was about 17. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, that was when my kidneys were starting to decline. Definitely the fatigue.
Oh my gosh. So 17, you're thinking of prom, you're maybe thinking of other things, and now your kidneys aren't functioning as well, you know. What was like your GFR roughly at that point when you were 17? Was that, you know, like were you like maybe only like was it only functioning like maybe at 11%, or what was?
I want to say it was probably closer to like 30. I wasn't as informed as I am now about things.
Yeah. Okay.
And there wasn't like like the my chart so you can actually see it instead of the doctor just being like, "Oh, it's good."
Okay. Uh-huh.
So there
All
wasn't
right.
really around.
Okay. All right. And so and moving forward, how did that progress? Did were you getting high blood pressure, low blood pressure? How else did it kind of affect you?
Definitely high blood pressure.
Okay.
I've always been a little bit more on the high side.
Okay. So headaches because of the high blood pressure.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it's in my genes, and I don't mean
Hmm.
blue jeans. It's you know, it's in my. I've got high blood pressure as well, and so I take lisinopril. I think that's what it's
Oh,
called. Yeah. I know not everybody can take it. Some people will have adverse effects, but you know, it works for me. But
yeah.
so so afterwards, how long was it before your kidneys went to say end stage renal disease, and you know the doctor had to prep you for news about having to go on dialysis?
Mhm.
You know, how long was it after that that you have to be prepped, and they had that discussion with you?
I was about 19. So,
Okay,
I mean, early thereafter. Yeah.
all right, and so at 19 years old, man, that's still fairly young. I mean, very young. You know, you've got so much ahead of you. And even at 30, you still have a lot of years that should be ahead of you. What, how did that make you feel? You know, what was going through your head? And at that moment, you know, when they were talking to you about it, because of having had, you know, medication, and they were talking to you maybe earlier when you were younger,
Mhm.
how shocking was this, or did you understand what that how that was going to change your life?
Yeah, it was very shocking. I think I was kind of in denial. Like I didn't really understand how profound of an effect that might have on my life. Um, and it's really easy to be like, "Oh, I feel fine," when like you really, really don't feel fine.
Right. Fake it till you make it. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's difficult to tell or show that you're vulnerable. You know, it's
Yeah,
not an easy thing. Yeah.
no, no.
So, so Jen Benson, thank you for watching, Jen. Jen Benson is a kidney transplant recipient, and she's also an advocate. And
Mm,
she's got a good question. She's asking if maybe the doctors, did they ever try to tell you or maybe talk to you, have a discussion about being preemptive, you know, and trying to look for a kidney donor prior to dialysis.
yeah, they really didn't, and I really wish that they would have. Um, I
Hmm.
my I really think if you can avoid dialysis, do it.
You know, and that's a very good way to put it, because Jen Benson and others, you know, they're very, very good proponents of the same thing. And, you know, it's if in any way we can not only, if they can talk to you and discuss that before dialysis, you know, it's a good thing. I mean, think of the people that may not already be familiar, you know, with dialysis. And I'm hoping that they're watching, and I'm hoping y'all are sharing so we can get this out there. So don't be stingy, all right? But and any of the people that, all right, aren't familiar, okay, don't have a family member, or they themselves, all right, don't know what dialysis makes, how it makes you feel, and what that's like. I have a glimpse because and it's just a lens, but it's not a perfect lens because I've not been on dialysis. But I've got a just a sliver of a glimpse because of my sister-in-law and the opportunity to interview people regularly. You know, they've given me a different lens. But if someone were watching right now that has never been connected to kidney disease, how would you say that dialysis, how does that make you feel before? How do you feel before dialysis, and how do you typically feel, after dialysis?
I so I am first shift, which means I have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm really not a morning person. So I
Okay.
feel like tired and nauseous.
Okay.
Um, Unfortunately, I typically feel worse after. It's kind of it's like a cross between being hungover and having the flu. And it takes like typically it takes like the rest of the day to really kind of recover, and you don't ever like really fully recover. Like I have days that are better and worse, but I wouldn't say that I have days where I'm like I feel really good and
Okay.
um
All right.
to go, you know.
Yeah. And that's exactly the response I'm trying to get. I appreciate you being candid because, you know, people that don't know what they don't know, all right, and I want to appeal to a living donor that may be watching so that they can see the information scrolling across the screen down at the bottom, and and call that phone number, or click on or use that website for the transplant hospital, because this is important information to know that, okay, you're saying that there are times where you struggle to feel well before dialysis, and then afterwards, okay, it wipes you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you may have to take a nap afterwards, because it's literally physically and sometimes emotionally wiped you out. And
Yes. Yeah.
yes, and Jen Benson is from Transplant Journey. I didn't mention that.
Okay.
I'd love if you two could get connected. She's a great advocate.
Yeah.
She's got a great website, and it'd be good if you could get some information and connect with her as well. Jen
Yeah.
Benson's just a tremendous advocate, and man, that'd be awesome. So maybe you two can get connected as well. But she's
Yeah.
saying right here, be selfless. Be a selfless donor to Mandy. Yes, exactly. Acts of compassion are often selfless, and so please be compassionate, because Kate, the dialysis machine is, when you're having that dialysis machine work, it's doing what your kidneys should be doing on a daily basis, 24/7, but it's doing it in 3 to 5 hours. You know what I mean? And so it puts a lot of stress, all right, on your body, and on your heart, okay, which is why a lot of kidney warriors, all right, have cardiovascular issues, because of that stress on the heart and other things, and sometimes it increases their high blood pressure, and stuff like that. Um, so your dialysis. So do you do home dialysis, or have you chosen to go in center in Bozeman, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I just go in center. I don't have a care partner or really enough space, and I also have a dog that is 60 pounds and likes to sit on my lap, so I
Yeah.
get signals getting dislodged
Uh-huh.
fairly.
No, awesome. So I wanted to talk about that. Is your dog's name Emily? Is that right? Or what's your
It's
dog's name?
yeah, she's Emma.
It is Emma. Okay, she goes by Emma. I love that. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. And Jen Benson, Jen Benson is totally right, and she knows because she's been on dialysis. It is a life support, a lifeline, as she puts it, but it does put a huge toll on the body. It put a huge toll on my sister-in-law, you know, and so it's so it the thing that I want to talk about is that your dog. So man, I love some of the photos. When I was looking for a photo to use for the thumbnail for the show, I saw some of your photos, and you know, I love that you've got that connection. I love animals. I
Yes, I
do.
think so. Yes.
Yeah, I have 10 chickens, and in fact, y'all can laugh a little bit, but literally, you don't see it because I'm using a green screen, but I've got a window like right there, and I was just my son was watching my I've got two roosters, and they were having a cockfight, you know, and it was like knocking on my window because he was afraid one was going to get bloody. But so I've got animals, and I love animals.
Yes.
Um, love
Too.
dogs. Okay,
Yeah.
I even have an outdoor cat, and you know, but they're kind of indifferent. They're like whatever, you know. They're
Yeah.
like every now and then she'll rub up against me, you know, and then I'll try to go near it, and she just walks away, you know. So I think she teases me a little bit, like she's like, I want your affection. Then when I try to pet her or something, it's like she just walks away. Yeah, but dogs, my dog loves me. I've got a Labradoodle. Yeah.
Yeah. She does too. If I could just like rescue all the animals, I would.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So how long have you had Emma? And you know, and how long has she been your BFF?
I've had her, it'll be 5 years in December. I actually adopted her on Aaron Rodgers' birthday.
Are you
Where
kidding me? Wow. She
yeah,
didn't she didn't go to the, you know, she didn't go to the University of California either. Is she a Golden Bear?
she we're Packer fans, yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I'm kidding. Of course, she didn't go to college, but
Yeah.
Green Bay, awesome. You know, I'm a big football sports fan, and
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the Hail Mary passes he's connected with recently, it's nuts, right? It's walnuts.
He's yeah, so it actually was coincidence that was her adoption day.
Uh
But it'll
huh.
be 5 years in December.
Yeah, you got to tell Aaron Rodgers that. You know, they have the same birthday.
I hope to meet him someday.
Yeah. Very cool. So maybe you can put a cheese head, you know, one of those cheese heads on Emma. I don't know if she'll keep it on. I know my dog would probably bite it, but
Like, yeah.
yeah. So is Emma a form of a lab, or is she a pit bull?
She's
I
a
couldn't
pit.
figure that out. Okay, she was a pit bull. She is a pit bull. Okay,
She's a rescue. I do have a DNA test that I'm hoping to run on her. Just it'd be
just to
kind
make
of nice
sure. Yeah.
if she does have something in her. She definitely has like the pit bull head
Yeah.
and the temperament.
Okay. All right. So I wasn't too far off. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but some of the photos, you know, you've got clothes on Emma, and then some of the photos, she's like, you know, like curling up like behind you. You were saying she surrounded me or something like that. Man, how does that lift you up, and what kind of encouragement does she give you?
Oh gosh, she can sense when I'm having a bad day. When I started dialysis this time, I was very, very, very sick.
Okay, all
Um,
right.
and she would not leave my side. She wouldn't go outside to
Oh
pee.
my gosh, that's
Like,
because she was so concerned.
yeah, my mom came by and helped me, and she had to basically pick her up and take her outside, and
Oh
she's 60,
wow.
that's kind of a feat.
So man, that doesn't, I mean, that doesn't always happen where people connect like that, you know. And she you know, to have that, you know, and that's again, I realize not everybody loves dogs and not everybody loves animals, but to me, you know, when you have that big support that way,
Yeah,
even when it's from, you know, a dog, that's huge, you know,
yeah,
because you know that you can count on Emma. You know what I mean? You know, for
it,
good or for worse, you know, she's there.
yeah, it's really powerful. And
Very
we've definitely
cool.
been through a lot together. She now is three-legged, so we've been through a lot together.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like you have been through quite a journey together. And, so I just think that's great. And I wanted to talk about that and
Yeah.
kind of highlight that because I just think that that's such a great support for you and a way that can give you encouragement that sometimes you may not need or that you may not get because on some days, okay, when our lives get busy and maybe someone else that you have direct contact with, whether it's a mom or dad or brother or a sibling, whatever, okay, their lives get busy. But Emma, you're her life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? That's what's so special about that connection with the dog is that, we have like these other connections, social media, but your dog, okay, you're her Facebook, you're her Instagram, she's
Yeah.
she's she's hitting the like button on things you do, so to speak, if you know what I mean.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, she's just always like here by my side.
Uh-huh. All right, so cool. I love that. I really do. So in center, is it in Bozeman itself that you go, or so? All right, and tell me, give us a little information about how they're able to do dialysis. Some people are still using a graft, and some people have had surgery, vascular surgery, and they have a fistula.
Yep.
When you found out and they were discussing, your options, did they give you different options about, an AV fistula, or you could do peritoneal dialysis? What kind of options did they give you?
Yeah, they did. My veins were not quite big enough to have a fistula, so I do have a graft.
Okay.
And it has worked well. It is starting to kind of break down a little bit, which is always concerning.
Right. Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, if anybody else has had vein issues and they're currently have a graft, or maybe you have had a graft when you had dialysis and you're now a transplant recipient, comment below and let me know and let her know, because man, the biggest thing that we can do is to give you support and encouragement and come together as a kidney disease community. And man, it's so powerful when someone else who's either going through the same thing or someone else who has gone through the same thing can relate with you. Uh,
Yeah.
so, with that being said, when you go to dialysis, what talk to me a little bit about your staff, or talk to me about maybe anybody that you've befriended, like maybe some people there that you've gotten to know a little bit.
Yeah. Um, I definitely have gotten, I mean, you see the same people typically. So you kind of chat, and I tend to be probably one of the younger people there.
Sure.
Um, when you're there, it's just like kind of irrelevant because we're all going through the same things, and you just kind of hear a lot of the same, like very similar stories, like, oh yeah, that happened to me too.
Uh-huh.
And Bozeman is interesting because we are a parity, and we only have the one center, which is super weird still.
Yeah.
But we have 12 chairs, and our
Okay.
facility is newer, and you really bond with the staff because they're there like when you're having a bad day. They're there and they've been like really supportive. I've had days where like I've been upset, and like they'll come and talk to you, and you really develop a relationship because you're seeing these people like 3 times a week, and they're seeing you at like your worst.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like we talked about earlier, it's not easy to show our vulnerabilities.
No.
And it's not just in general as humans, and and then when others seem vulnerable at the same time, you know, it's you can kind of bond because you're going through a similar thing and you're both vulnerable at the same time. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's huge. So I just want to say I want to say thanks for James for watching. James from Dadvice TV. He's got a great YouTube channel. Anybody who is on YouTube, which is just about everybody has a Google or Gmail account. Um, Please check him out. He's a great advocate. He's a kidney warrior himself. It's like having a second family when you're more transparent with. Yeah, you're right. So I think he's referring to your discussion about your family or your friends and staff at your dialysis center, is that he's saying that they become your second family. And
Yeah.
because they can relate, they understand what you're going through with that direct connection.
Yeah.
I think he's inferring that you can sometimes be more transparent. Have you found that as well? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, and you notice like if someone's missing, like in the hospital or whatever, you notice and like, you worry about that person. Like, hey, have you heard about such and such? Like, are they okay?
Yeah, and it's powerful. It is because it's sad when someone is not getting support, and and so when you can give them the support that you never know. Like you said, you're obviously with your age, you're one of the youngest people there, and many people say that the majority of people that go to dialysis are seniors. And so but it doesn't matter, like you said, you're still all connected. And but
Yeah.
when but you never know somebody's journey and whether they're getting support. You know what I mean? You don't know whether they've got Emma. You don't know whether they've got a family member nearby. And if you're that person that smiles at them or gives them a little bit of encouragement, then that gives them hope. Have you ever had an opportunity like that where maybe somebody needed a little bit of encouragement and you gave it to them?
Yeah. I we had like a little like a social group, and there was this older gentleman, and we were just sitting in the waiting room, and I could tell he wasn't really having a good day. And he's like, I just really like seeing you. Like, you just kind of light up a room. Like, would you hold my hands? Um, and I'm like, yeah.
All right. That's cool. Yeah. So it sounded like he was, need of just some sort of support. And and that was a way for him to get that day.
Hmm.
How
Yeah, just
glad
touch
how
or
gra-
something.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's all it takes sometimes. And that could have given him, the smallest things as humans, a hug, or, I appreciate you. There, I don't know, it sounds corny, but I've read the five languages of love. Y'all can make fun of me too, okay? I've read it, all right? The five languages of love, and one of them is words of encouragement. It is. And if you give words of encouragement, or actions, okay, is also one of the languages of love, five languages. And giving, holding his hand at that moment was a form of one of those languages, five languages of love. And you never know, that could have given him so much encouragement that it lifted him up for, I don't know, the next 2 weeks or something. You never know, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
powerful. It really is. Jean Syme, I so appreciate you. I wanted to say that just very briefly. Mandy, she's saying that I made sure to say hello to everyone when I walked in her center. So that's huge. So if anybody else, and Shell Allen saying something similar, is that she checked on them if she didn't see them. If anybody else, please give a comment and let us know if you did dialysis in center, and if you had a good rapport with some of your dialysis buddies, and you were able to check on them, or if you gave them encouragement, or maybe you knew of someone who was missing and you asked about them, put it in the comments section, because this is such a great way in which we can come together and give support. It's huge because Mandy, when we can find that we're not alone, whatever it might be, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like if someone can say, "Hey, man, like for example, I've been divorced," and if someone else says I've been divorced too, all of a sudden I know that he or she, whoever said that, has been in some sort of situation like mine, and I feel like I'm not alone, like, man, maybe they have the crazy in-laws, ex-in-laws that I had, or maybe they can relate, or But Gene's saying my team sat the new patients next to me so I could support them, educate them, let them know I was there to support them anyway. So Gene, if you would, give me some feedback and let me know, did they know, or did your center know that you could give them support and they saw that and that's why they did that? I'd be interested to find that out. Um,
Mhm.
so what when you're there in center, sometimes does it get pretty cold in there for you? Do you have to kind of bring a blanket and stuff?
Yeah, I bring two blankets actually, and I wear
Yeah.
like wool socks.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
like long sleeves because they have to be
uh-huh.
to your arm.
Okay.
So yeah, it can get really cold. Like having because your blood is out.
Right, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So some of the patients didn't have family, no visitors. Saying hi to them showed them someone cared, made a difference. Help with others. That is huge. And I think she's showing the owl because she is so connected and in regards to Howl the owl. Have you ever heard of Howl the owl, Mandy? Yeah.
I
No?
have no.
All right, all right. So Brenda Cortez is a living donor, living kidney donor, and she started authoring and writing books about a fictitious owl who talks to kids and things, and his name's Howl the Owl. So, Gene, if you would, if Gene, you can help me and put a link in there to some sort of website or Facebook page for Howl the Owl, that'd be awesome. Um, so it gets cold, your blood's taken out, put back in, you're feeling your body temperature go, up and down a little bit. Um, how is your blood pressure? Because sometimes that can go up and down too when you're dialyzing. So have you ever had your blood pressure go too low where you almost fainted? How has that happened, or have you ever had that happen?
I've only ever really had that happen one time, and I mean, I was like very weak.
Okay.
And that's another thing to kind of recover from. My body doesn't do good with like extremes because I know that some people can tolerate like their normal blood pressure is lower. And my normal would probably be closer to the 120 over 80. So
Okay.
anything kind of is the 90s for the top number and like 60 for the bottom number. Like I definitely feel like the dizzy, the lightheadedness, which is
Right.
concerning.
Okay.
Yeah, I drive myself.
Oh, you do?
Um,
Awesome. Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
like if that happens, like, ooh,
Yeah, then you really have to have like maybe a dialysis tech or the registered nurse there, maybe reach out to somebody, right? Something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah,
So
and I'm good about that. But
awesome. And that's important. It sounds like you not only have been able to get connections with some of the your dialysis buddies, but your staff. How have you bonded with them, and how have they been able to give you lift up or encouragement?
yeah, I feel like pretty close to them. We and sometimes like if I'm feeling a little bit better, it's nice because they all are kind of friends. So we can joke around with each other, but then when it things need to be serious and like I'm not feeling well, you can tell, and they've really tried to like make things better for me. They put me on a profile
Okay,
on,
okay,
and that seemed to help for a little bit, and then it just kind of made things worse. So they're kind of actively trying to find things that will make it better. But the truth is that like probably nothing is really going to make it that much better, and that it's just kind of status quo.
okay. Yeah. So, uh, so sometimes, even though it sounds like you've got a great rapport, so they can sometimes keep it light and encourage you, but are they able to kind of maybe tone that down where they've got to maybe lower their cadence and be like frank with you sometimes too?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think that's important to just have like that relationship.
Yeah. And that's good, because sometimes, you need somebody to maybe give you some direction. And if you got that rapport and they are treating you well, which it sounds like they are, it's great. So, Jean's got some great advice. It's often the same advice we all give to everybody as much as possible is to try to be your own advocate and educate yourself, learn more about the machine, and look at the numbers. I know that some people, you know, even put headphones on or sometimes even take a nap, and to each his own. But what Gene's saying, and I know Jen Benson's also taught this, is to look at the machine and understand how it, what it means and what the numbers are and stuff like that. Knowing what your KTV over V is, or what your and understand it a little bit. So was that something that have you asked questions about that, and do you understand some of those numbers so that if a beeping sound goes off or something that you can maybe not panic?
Yeah, I feel like I have been dealing with like medical stuff for my whole life, and I actually
Yeah. Okay.
licensed too. So I feel like I do have a better understanding than even like when I was younger. Like it's kind of a learn as you go type thing. And some of
Mm-hmm.
the texts, they'll like a lot of them are really good about explaining like why this is this way, like why we're doing this, or like why is this machine beeping? Because it can be very nerve-wracking.
I can imagine. I can only imagine, man. Because you're there to have your life support. It's supposed to help you get the toxins out and to get dialyzed. And when that, it must be alarming. Um, so Jean is also, she she is connected to a nonprofit organization that Jen Benson has started called it's Transplant Journey. It'd be awesome if both Jen Benson as well as you, Jean Syme, if Eugene can connect with her. Manny, they're a great organization. Jen Benson is awesome. I've had other people on the Warriors Quest show, and I've connected some of the other people that have been on my show with Jen Benson, and they've been able to get some guidance and direction. It'd be awesome if y'all could connect. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So Shell's saying that she watches her machine constantly, and she's learned so much about the machines. She says she never sleeps. So, again, to each his own. I get it that sometimes people, may want to relax and stuff and put the headphones on, and maybe sometimes people take naps. I'm not necessarily saying that that's not the best thing, but I love the advice that people say to be constantly self-advocating. I love the advice to know what your numbers mean and what and know what your KTV over V is, and to be educated. I love that advice. I really do. So always ask for your rounding report and sit with the charge nurse to go over it. What do you think about that, Mandy?
I think that's good advice. Just like I've definitely learned over the years that you really do need to be your own advocate too. And I definitely believe that like knowledge is power in this. And I think you can't go wrong like being more involved in your care, really.
No, I mean, if anything, if it's done in the right way, of course, where you're not coming across as a, I don't know, some, callous person that's maybe just trying to be, very caustic with your words. But if you're being genuine and you've already got that rapport with them, like you've talked about, it could be just information that they'll give you because they may welcome it where, it may be refreshing to them. And I hope it is that you're somebody that wants to be in the know because it makes you more self-aware, and the thing about it is, this, Mandy, is that the more aware we are of things, the less scared we are. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Like it, because I mean, it is a scary process.
Yes. Yes. And it's you battle every day, um,
Mhm.
because you already were battling before your kidney failure and you were taking medicine, and now you have kidney failure. You're still dealing with what you had previously. That hasn't gone away, right? It's
No,
it's yeah, and so now you've got the gloves on, and
yeah,
you've got kidney failure and what you were previously dealing with, and that's what many kidney warriors, they they're not only battling with just kidney failure, but they're battling with other things, and then you add on, all right, the emotional depression that sometimes can happen because you're right, it is hard. it's
yeah,
it's not an easy journey, and I'm glad that you've got Emma, and I'm glad that you've got a good staff, and that you're getting support. But the more aware you can be about what's going on, and the more you self-advocate, where you're learning more about you know um, how to find a living donor and how to maybe get things going and stuff like that. If there's any any way that you feel like some of the control that's taken away because of things like this, you know
mhm,
that could be powerful because when your control is taken away, it adds fear. And if we can make sure that you're feeling less afraid, and you're getting more hope, and I
mhm.
want that. I want you to feel hope, like that Shell and Jen and Jean, and Steve Belcher that was commenting, and Donna Tassat that was commenting now, and James from Dad Vice TV. I'm hoping that we can get you connected with so many more people that maybe you weren't
Yeah,
already connected with, because
yeah, I like that.
yeah, it's so powerful when we're united, and we feel like we've got like thousands of people behind us, and we feel like we've got like an army with us.
Yeah,
We feel more powerful, and all of a sudden we're walking around like this with our arms, to our hips, and like, all right, come at me, no worries. I've got an army behind me. You think you can take on me in this army? That's what I want. Is I want you to feel that sort of support, and I want, more than anything, I want you to find a living donor. So we're almost coming to the end here, but what I'd like is, I'd like you to kind of talk about and give us your vision of what you would like your life to be after transplant.
yeah. Um, yeah, so I have my EMT license right now, but I'm not really able to use it. I would really like to become a paramedic and work for the ambulance here. It's kind of a dream of mine, just like responding with like the police and here they're very like cooperative with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to like buy a house so that Emma can have a yard and just to like feel healthy again. Drinking water.
Yeah, and not having to worry about your fluid intake. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I have a little bit of leeway there. but I would like to just like chug water and not
Okay.
like about it. And just to be like well, to do the things that like I want and not run out of energy and not have to nap so excessively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I want everybody to understand that every kidney warrior that I've interviewed, but especially Mandy tonight, is going through everything that she's talking about, but it's every day. All
Yeah.
right. It's every day. And this vision that you have, I want it for you. It make me ecstatic. All right. I would be, you know, so thankful for anybody who feels inspired, anybody who feels compassion to act on it and click on, you know, we'll put in that link in your browser, on Google or Safari or Opera or whatever browser, or call that phone number so that we can give you really a gift of life, you know, and give you an opportunity where you're drinking, you know, 32 ounces of water if you wanted to, or, you know, yeah, plan a vacation and not have to worry about making prior arrangements to a dialysis center somewhere, or, and this is something that I'm praying for. And I feel strongly that if we have just this army that you and I are envisioning, this kidney disease community, all right, if we're doing this all together, okay, we can be strong together. And I want us to do that together. And when it does happen, you know, whether that's, I'm hoping next week, but if it happens 2 months from now, you know, just hit me up, let me know about it, all right, so that we can celebrate this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's infectious, I'm telling you. I've had two people, all right, that have been on my show that within 2 weeks they had a kidney transplant. And so
Wow.
God works mysteriously. It wasn't totally directed to someone watching this show, okay, but God works in different ways. It's not always because of somebody who saw this, if you know what I mean. But if we're together, we've got a multitude of people praying, and people are clicking that share button, and they're helping the algorithm do magic, then, you know, God will do his thing. And I'm hoping for that for you, Mandy.
Yes, me too.
Well, will you do that? Will you hit me up and send me a message, or, you know, and let me know when that good news happens?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Warriors Quest show. It's been my absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
No, you're welcome. All right. Have a beautiful evening. Okay. God bless you and your family. And Emma.
You as well. Yes.
All right. Is she okay? All right. Thanks, Emma. Thanks for letting me interview Mandy while you're watching or hearing her. Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again, Mandy. All right. Have a good evening.
Yes, you too.
Thank you. Hey guys, we've heard from Mandy Rose Dufrane, and man, the you know, and James, that's thanks for chiming in. Thank you for talking or taking time to make a comment. If maybe she reads this comment, I've asked a similar question: what she's envisioning after transplant. But if you'll, Mandy, if you're watching still right now, I think you are. You're still backstage. We've got some people that are asking some other questions, so. All right. If it's okay, man, I'm going to bring you back on. Maybe we'll bring you back on, or I'm going to bring you back on. So I asked you a similar question, but James is asking, when you get your new kidney, what's one of the first things you'd want to break it in?
Hmm. Honestly, like this is just so simple, but just water.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that's yeah, I'm just like so thirsty. Like I just think about water. Like I look at a cup and I'm like, oh, I just want to fill it and drink.
Yeah.
you know?
All right, I like that. So, you know, and another answer that sometimes people have given me that I've interviewed is, you know, and this is not crazy, and any other potential living donor that is watching this now live or as a replay later, okay, is to be able to urinate again. That's another common answer I get is that, you know, Kate, it's something that is real, and when you feel that sensation, okay, whenever that might be soon, I hope very soon, is that it's telling you this kidney's working, you know, and to imagine to feel that, you know, you've got a pee and it's working, that means, man, this kidney is functioning. And there's a moment for people that have talked to me about that's a feeling of elation, you know,
Yeah.
and so sometimes I'll ask that question and that's an answer I get. So I'm hoping that that water that you're envisioning, you know, leads to you know, that feeling that I'm talking about, and you're able to get that, you know, sooner versus later. All right.
Yeah, that was probably a very close second.
Yeah, right. I can only imagine. Right. So, you know, so Jonathan's watching, Jonathan Trailer. He's a little bit late to the show, but Jonathan, she's from Bozeman, Montana. And Jonathan Trailer, many people already know this, but Jonathan Trailer, I interviewed in 2020, and he's one of the people I'm referring to that had a kidney transplant 2 weeks after my show. He's one of them. Yeah. And another one recently was D'Angelo Crawford, who roughly 2 weeks after I interviewed him had a kidney transplant as well. So Shell Allen has been on my show. She's been chiming in and commenting. Thanks for watching, Shell. Shell, she's been on my show recently, and I'm hoping that she gets a kidney donor as well. But we've got the whole kidney disease community rooting for you again. I'm hoping that we can just show so much support and encouragement that this happens sooner versus later for you. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you again. Again, God bless, and hit me up when that good news happens. All right.
I sure will.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So I brought her back, and man, when you guys have good questions like that, great comments, man. I enjoy doing that if they're still backstage, and I love the questions. Great comments tonight. All right, the more the comments, the more the sharing, the more we can add to the algorithm, whether it's from YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, and we can get the information out there. James, thanks for asking that question and chiming in and giving comments. Melissa, thanks from Kerrville, Texas, for commenting. May God bless Mandy and Shell Allen, and anybody else who's going through this journey currently. Because as you know, okay, I wouldn't feel good in my soul if I didn't mention one more time that we've lost a great kidney warrior, all right, and Sorrel George, Cy Speaks. And when someone like this pillar of our community passes on, and she was so full of positivity, Cy Speaks, Sorrel George, always a smile on her face, and you know, just giving inspiration and every chance she got. Also, she was doing a show on the Urban Health Outreach Media, and she interviewed me, you know, and somebody that it's hit home because I know her. I sent a text message to her on February the 26th, and I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. And that was the last text message I ever got from her, and I've pinned it on my phone. People, if you're watching this now, and if you're a potential living donor, if you're healthy and you're able and willing to feel you feel inspiration, if you felt compassionate tonight, it's never concrete. It's never a guarantee how long these kidney warriors, whom I'm advocating for, who are in this beloved kidney disease community that I'm connected to, it's never a guarantee how long they're going to be among us. And so I'm asking you, please become a living donor. Click on that, okay, or call this phone number for Mandy so that we can make sure that we don't lose one more kidney warrior in this community. All right. Thank you so much for watching again. Thank you for your comments. And thank you so much for giving her encouragement. So please click on the share button again and give Mandy, all right, give her hope. Hope is powerful. And I want to give hope in spoonfuls, and if I can get a shovel and give it out in shovelfuls, so to speak, I want to give as much hope, and I want to help every kidney warrior that I can. You never know how long they have with us. All right. God bless and rest in peace, Sorrel George, and God bless her family and her son. All right. At this time. All right. God bless everyone. Thank you again. Peace. I'm out. Very thankful for what you all do to spotlight these kidney warriors every single week. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you. Share this, please. And let's get this out there to the masses. All right. Thank you. I'm going to put an outro out here if I can find it. All right. Thank you again. Peace. I'm out. Peace.